All right, Anthony Crudele, Mr. Crudele, my trader, brother from another mother. How are you?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing, yeah, and we got Steve joining us. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, man. It's a Sunday morning in Florida. I know it's not fall like it is in the upper East Coast with all that beauty, even the Midwest, but we're getting some pretty good weather here, so it's pretty nice.
Nice. That's great. Well, hey, I know we bled a little into your time, and I want to thank you first of all for being a sponsor here at the Traders Summit. It's so great to have you here. But you know what I'm most excited about? I mean, it was really fun being on your podcast, but really over the last couple of weeks, I've learned you got something really cool going on right now, and this is something that I find completely fascinating. And I'm not going to steal your thunder. I'm just going to pass it off to you. I'm going to turn my camera off, turn my volume off, and hear what you have to say about what you're doing over there.
Well, what we did is we started a website called placeyourtrades.com, and it's all around event contracts. So what is an event contract? An event contract that CME has, these are all at CME Group. And there's 10 contracts: E-mini S&P, E-mini NASDAQ, E-mini Russell, E-mini Dow, crude oil, natural gas, copper, silver, gold, and euro. And what they are is what I believe is the best tool that they've created for intro to futures and options. And it's not only just for the beginner traders, it's for, I think, all levels of traders. I mean, for myself, Shy Girls trading them every day, Cordova. Some of you people may know Julia. You've got Jimmy Jude, Canny, Brian Shannon, Alpha Trends. The list goes on. Anne-Marie Van. We're all working together in a podcasting group at placeyourtrades.com, talking about trading event contracts. And what they are is it's a $20 contract. So you have to choose whether you think the market will close above or below a specific price. So there's 9 strikes. Pretty much 5 are being quoted on a regular basis. And as we move closer to the strikes, they'll all be quoted. But what you have is, for example, let's just say S&P 3750, right? It's been a big area where we closed a little above that area. So on Sunday night on the open, you will have a choice, a yes or no question, if you think it will close above or below that price. And their market makers will make a yes or no dollar amount for you to choose that. And like I said, it's a $20 contract. So everything pays you back $20. So if the trade is $10, let's just say it's at the money, the yes would be 10, which means it's going to close above. The no would be 10. No, it's going to close below. So you can bet up to 250 at one click. And if it closes above that price, you get paid, $20 back. So you put your $10 up and you get your $20 back. Like I said, no would be below. And there's 9 strikes. And like I said, 5 typically are where we're trading around, and they'll be priced according to the volatility of the market. And all you have to do is choose yes or no above or below a closing price. And really it's that simple,
It is it is the coolest product I've seen in a long time for us here in North America.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, people are probably used to seeing this stuff with other markets, such as like a Nadex has something similar. Although it's very different. I've never traded those, but like Kalshi as well, they have a product, but like Kalshi is based off of the SPX, and you have to actually pick the range. So will it close between a range versus just closing above a price? So what I like about the CME contracts is just if it closes above that price and it goes up 100 points in the S&P, you're still right. With some of the other products out there, it's just closing within a range, and it's not based off of the actual futures price, which is, you got Nadex, which is really, it's a very different thing. Like I said, I've never traded those, but they don't actually have the settlement prices like the S&P has for the S&P, like CME Group, because CME actually has the S&P contract, right? And Kalshi is using the cash. So those are products that maybe some people have been familiar with, but we've been trading them a lot. And the thing is, you can get out of them intraday as well. So for example, let's just say,
what can I ask really quick?
Sure.
Is your price of that contract going to shift based on, like, I was on with Tracy the other day. We were on the Place Your Trade podcast. your podcast there, and she's like, is the euro going to close above or below wherever it was, like 97.50, 96.50?
Yeah, I took that trade. You said no, and
I said no. I'm like, no way,
Yeah.
it's not going to get above that resistance, and it got right to it, and then came off of it, and it was fine, right? But in that move, does your pricing shift?
Oh yeah. So
contract, okay.
Yeah. So for example, let's just say everything is at the money. So most people are familiar with options, right? I think this is an unbelievably great tool for people to learn about options. I mean, some of our podcasters have talked about this. I'm not an options trader, so I don't know much about theta and gamma and delta, right? That's not really my thing, but it's a daily option, right? A yes is a call, a no is a put. Okay. And it'll move, the pricing of it will move. The more it's in the money, the more expensive it will be. So for example, like on the Sunday night open, I think the S&P closed around 36.80, something like that, or 37. Yeah. The 37.75 will be at the money. But let's just say we open up at 3,800 and we're up higher, right? Well, the 37.75, if it were to open up right at it, would be $10. But if it opens up at 3,800, you're probably going to pay $15 for it, right? So you're paying more money because it's more in the money. And the 3,800 will be now at the money, and that would be $10. But let's just say you thought it was going to close above 38.25 or 38.50, which will probably be strikes. Those might be $2 to $4 or $6 to $8. So you can get a much greater risk reward. I mean, I bought some the other day for a quarter at I was just basically, I saw that they were 25 cents, which is the lowest price one, and we were trading 3,700 on the open. I bought the 36 and a quarter or 3,600 no's for 25 cents.
Wow.
And I and the thing is they actually ended up closing in the money. I covered them at $4,
Wow.
So because when it went up to $4, I'm like, there's still a chance. But that was a day where they broke all the way back down. If you remember, because we're moving 100 points in the S&P now.
Yeah.
And it was a day where I wanted to be short, but I didn't have a trade signal. So I just bought something way out of the money, and you can make a very high percentage at a fixed amount of risk. So what's different with this versus any other future and option for that matter is it's non-leveraged. So if the price is $10, you just pay $10. So I think it's a much better way to go about. And people are asking, is it like a binary option? It's very similar to that in the sense of you're picking one side, right? So is it yes or is it no? And so for this, to me, it's just a daily option is the way I look at it.
Okay. And I think, well, first of all, I'm glad you made money on that. That was really cool.
I said, if Pip thinks so, if Pip's aren't think so, I'm taking it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay. So, walk us through the logistics of how, like, I'm going, wow, that's interesting. I want to actually do it. How can you show us your screen, or can you tell us logistically how we go through the process?
Yeah, so we are not a broker for this. I'm just talking about these contracts because I believe that they are going to be a great way for newer traders to get involved into trading. Okay. I would say a year ago, everyone thought that the micros, most people are familiar with the micros, is like, oh, that's a great entry product. But then the S&P starts moving 100 to 150 points in a day. And really, it's still can be very expensive for some people, right? And also,
I would argue a lot of full contract traders moved to micros after that, or recently.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Like for me, I only trade micro NASDAQ now, and it's because I like to scale in. And for my time frame, the regular NASDAQ, it's just moving so much. I'm looking at the screen. I'm just like, I'd rather scale in with micros. I could trade as big or as little as I want, right? S&P, I use the regular E-mini, but I also been using the event contracts, which is kind of funny. So I use the micros for the NASDAQ. I use the big S&P and the event contracts for the S&P for the E-mini. And well, this is just our site. And like I said, we're not a broker, but right now the company called Tradeovate, which some people may or may not know of, they have created an app. And if you go to our site, placeyourtrades.com, put your email in, click get the app, you can go and download the app. It's made specifically for the event contracts. And we recommend you go through us because what we're doing is we're doing giveaways, either through our podcasters. We're giving away all sorts of different stuff. We're doing contests and all these different things through Place Your Trades. And you're going to get some giveaways if you sign up through us to go get the Tradeovate app. Like I said, we're not working with them in that sense. They're just a sponsor of our podcast. And it's what all of us are using at Place Your Trades for executing these contracts. And really, they're the only company out right now that has an app, and we've been using it every day, and it's awesome. You can get the app for free just to follow along with them, just to get a feel for them, to see what it's like. So you just go there and get it, and you're going to get a bunch of different stuff. Actually, you just had Shy Girl on, so she's going to be hosting a Spaces through Place Your Trades every week for the inventory numbers when they come out, and talk about trading crude oil through the event contracts. Because let's face it, the event contracts for crude oil is really a great one, because it's one I've used a lot. Because obviously the margins, as crude oil moved so much, got really, really expensive. And I'm not really a crude oil trader. I do trade it sometimes, but if I think it's just going to keep grinding higher, I just take all the yeses, right? And you can trade as big as you want. I mean, there's serious money involved in it, or as little as you want, right? You can place a $10 one, or you can put up, for a $10 one, you could bet 250 times. It's $2,500 worth of risk. And, you could double your money at the money, or make more if you pick something out of the money. So I think they're really a great tool to use, I think, for trending markets, for markets that you really are expensive for people to get into. Or like I said, if you have an idea of which way you think the market's going, you could step in a non-leveraged way and just go that direction.
So a lot of people are commenting right now in the chat, is this a binary option? Because it sounds a lot like one.
Yeah. And like I mentioned, I mean, it is, they're not classifying them. I'm not the one who makes these contracts, right? So this is a CME Group contract. They call them event contracts, and it's a daily option. I mean, yes is a call, no is a put. And, I don't know, people could call them whatever it is that they want. I mean, that's not my place to say of exactly what they are. I understand that the concept of just a binary thought process on it, right? It's a yes or a no, right? But they call them and classify that. I'm not making the contracts. I'm not the broker for them. I'm not anything for that. I just know what they are. And for me, I look at it more of like, yes is a call. They're really more like call spreads, what our options people talk about. Like I said, I'm not really an options person to really talk about that. But that's all I really, I mean, for me, like I said, that's what I know about them. But I use them every day.
Well, I think it's really cool, and I'm excited about the Place Your Trades site. We've talked about that. But let's circle around and talk about what you do, Mr. Crudele, as a whole, because you and I have followed each other on social media for years. Paul Franco, he's been on my team for many years. Paulie, he's been awesome. I've been with him for a long time. You've worked with him. We've been around a lot of the same circles, and you do some of the best. I gotta say, not only do you have a face for radio, but you actually do have a good face for video. So you do such a great podcast all the time. Tell us a little bit of what Anthony Crudele does.
Yeah, I've got so many podcasts going right now. I mean, from Place Your Trades, we're on every morning from 9 to 9:30, and so go there and check that out. Then I have Futures Radio Show, which is my primary podcast, which I do every Wednesday at 12. And everything is live. Every podcast we do is live. I just think there's something about being live that is, great to interact with people. And then I also do a show called Develop Your Edge, which will start back up on Thursdays at 10:30 Eastern. And I talk about what I'm working on every week to develop an edge. And I also put out really a weekly or bi-weekly video on TradingView to go over my technical side of things. So really, I mean, I've got a lot going on, right? The Futures Radio Show, that's really what I started 8-9 years ago. I remember just looking at, I was doing financial media, and I looked at what was going on out there, and nobody really understood futures. That's what I do. And, that's why, so that podcast has grown tremendously over the last 8-9 years I've been doing it. And, and hopefully just the Place Your Trade stuff, continues to pick up, which has been doing unbelievable. And we've only been doing that for a month. But I think that, the future of what I'll be doing is obviously Futures Radio Show every week. I love that. I'll always stick to my roots of a sophisticated type of trading style. But I think that Place Your Trades and these event contracts are going to have a massive impact. It's mostly for the US people right now that have access to trading them. I don't believe they are able to trade them in the UK just at this current point. But I think that this will be the intro product for futures traders. And as we are seeing all of the other traders out there that are trading this with us, like I said, from Brian Shannon, who's been doing this a long time, Tom Canfield, Shy Girl, they're all trading them every day. They're like, wow, these are actually pretty cool. And people are asking how this shows up for like tax filing. It's a future. I mean, it shows like your futures income, which I think is also really great because you get a chance to trade these as, futures. So you get that 60-40 tax split, 60% long-term, 40% Schedule C, which I've been using for the last 24 years of my life. And it's a great thing. So I think that also offers a benefit there.
Awesome. Awesome. I just think it's really, really fascinating. The whole, and a lot of people are very familiar with binary options. You can call them whatever you want, but it is a CME product. And the fact is you're not a broker. You just, but you have an ecosystem that really caters around that new product that the CME is offering.
Yeah, exactly. People have asked me, oh, is this regulated? I'm like, yeah, it's regulated. It's a CME product. I remember when they put out something back in March talking about this. And when I was looking at it, I said, I'd be interested to see what happens here with this product, because like I said, I felt that this is going to really, really impact the industry. And I know people are going to be asking all these questions. Are they binary options? Are they this? Are they that? Like I said, I'm not the one who creates these products, and I really don't care. I'm just a trader who goes out there. I see a product I like. If I like it, I trade it.
Right.
If I don't trade it. What do I care what people call them? You can classify things as what it is. But they are regulated. The CME is the largest exchange in the world covering futures. And I've looked at all the other products that have been similar to this in a sense, but none of them are tied to the actual product like the CME has. And so when that first came out, my idea was, you know what, I'm going to create a whole podcasting group around these products, because I think not only for, I think the beginner traders, because it's non-leveraged. I mean, that's the key. I think that's the one thing I like the most about it. It's an easy way to be able to trade level to level in the S&P if you choose to. You can buy the yes or the no's. There's all sorts of different strategies you can trade around them. You can trade as simple as, yes, I think it'll close above, or you can get out of them anytime you want intraday. You don't have to hold them till the close. So it's a way that you can come in and not burn out. Most futures accounts don't last more than 6 months, right? And that the reason is because the leverage, and most people come in and they're not fully prepared. I think this extends the life of them and gives them a longer time to learn about markets.
That's awesome. That's a great way to put it. So, Anthony, what would be your closing thoughts based on your experience that you've seen with these products? Who are they for? And what would you say since they're intraday, when should people even check for what contracts are available?
Well, every night when Globex opens, you have a chance to really trade them right then and there. So 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night, we have a show every night. Julia Cordova and Jay Striz are our Sunday night opening show, and they'll make a pick every Sunday night for what they think for the next day is. But the time that majority of us are trading them is from 9 to 9:30 in the mornings, Eastern time. And you look at where we have shows every morning, Monday through Friday on my YouTube channel, and we all make picks, and we're all trading them live on air. And then, we're trading them throughout the day. Eventually we'll be adding a Discord to this for free to get people to come in and look at some stuff, and get education on them. And I think, go back to the question of, who they are for. I think they're really for everybody. I mean, I could give you just the simplicity of why I think this is for a beginning trader. You can open up an account for $100, and the average, trade size is going to be $10. So it gives you 10 trades, which there's no way you can come in and trade micros for that little of an amount. And at least you get a feel for the direction of the market. You see how the products move. Most people come in, trade S&P and crude oil. They just get chopped to bits because, they're struggling. Just where do I put my stops? They're trying to build strategies. They're trying to learn around it. I know, because I've been there. It's tough.
Yeah.
Right. I think for the intermediate trader who's building a strategy, somebody who's an advanced trader, you look at the way I look at them. If I think we're just going up, going back to or going down, going back to that euro trade that you talked to me about, I don't trade the euro. I don't know all the different news and impacts that's happening in that market. So if you think it's going lower and I look at my chart and I say, yeah, I probably agree with that, it's an easy way for me to participate without having to manage a stop all day long. I put the money out there what it is. You're basically paying for your trade before you go in, and you don't have to worry about the stop. So it allows you to be directional as well. So I think there's lots of different ways that I think it adds to the trading community.
And you may not know the answer to this question. If I'm European or if I'm Canadian, do you know if I can trade these?
Well, if you can get, yeah, if you have a TradeAvate account, I know that you can trade them anywhere. I don't know the actual rules and regulations on all this. Once again, I'm not an exchange or a broker, so I don't know that. But I know that right now, I don't believe currently that people can trade them in the UK. I know that currently you cannot get a TradeAvate account in Canada. I don't know if that means that you cannot trade them in Canada just yet or not. I don't know those exact answers. I know currently that the Canadians and the people in the UK do not have access. I don't know for how long or what logistics follow up with that. That's something I just don't know.
So this is really predominantly for people in Chicago or Florida. Just I'm joking joking about that. No, but
it's a United States product currently at this forum, but I don't even know what other countries have access to TradeAvate. Once again, like for me, I actually can probably post something to find out more from TradeAvate internally what they do. But like I said, they're just a sponsor of our podcast, and we're just trying to provide content out there and education on trading these. I don't know the access to where they are on a global level.
I appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be listening in and probably are very curious. So make sure you check in. I bet the best place to do or best way to do this is check in with the CME and see where this product will be available to be traded.
Yeah, currently TradeAvate right now is the primary broker for it. I mean, there's really not many other brokers out there doing really even available for this product yet. It's brand new. It's only been out there a month, So right now we're going through this phases of it's just getting out there. And I think that over time, I think that it'll grow, and I think that you'll see mass adoption across all the countries and platforms and stuff like that. But I can put a link out there on our site, or I could put this in this chat here, and people can go there. I'll put it there, but and then people can go
right now. And remember, guys, there's going to be a follow-up email that hits all of you as attendees. There's going to be the email is going to be full of lists and offers and different sites and where you can go visit all these different speakers and where they're at. So just remember, if you didn't catch it or you might have missed somebody earlier, don't worry, we'll send out a recap email of all that as well. So Anthony, I want to say you and I we've gotten to talk a lot, especially over recent years, and I always love chatting with you because you're a trader, you think like a trader, we talk the markets, we talk. We could go probably in circle, and thank God we don't have like a bunch of beer around us, because then we'd go forever. But it's always nice just sitting down and having conversations with you about the markets. And I know listening to you over the years, you were somebody that you dig your heels in and you trade like a trader. You have good days, you have bad days, and we just all hope that our good days outpace the bad days. And it's nice to be associated with you.
Same here, my friend. Respect is mutual. Love this Trader Summit. I think it's the best, like I said, online summit every year. I look forward to it. I'm glad to be a sponsor of it this year. And